welcome to the Scratticus Academy. It is Monday again, so we are back with our penultimate episode of Eberron. So before we head round and say hi to everyone, please check the links that are coming up in the chat now. And also please do check out our sponsors, the wonderful Bird in the Storm. You can see all of the links to their merch there. And also the fabulous Mage Hand Press. So what we'll do to get straight into it, let's hop round. You're going to have to forgive me for my voice today, I'm afraid. But first of all, let's say hi to Ash. Hi, Ash.
Hello, everyone. I am Ash, and I'm going to be playing Yvette, the Barbarian Warforged. Who, you know, there's a dragon awake. There's maybe a Warforged god or demigod that's waking up. They might have to go to the Dreamy Dark. It's all good. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Awesome, thank you. And then we're going to hop over to the lovely Kim. Hello, Kim.
Hello. I'm Kim, or a Geeky Tea Party, and I am playing River, a Wild Hunt Shifter Ranger. And currently I'm probably standing there with my mouth open going, the dragon!
Awesome, thank you. And then we're going to hop over to the very lovely Tool School. Hello.
Hello, how are you? I play Vesh Shindalari, who is a Kalashtar sorcerer, giant storm soul sorcerer, and Tempest cleric. He is ready to bring on the thunder.
Awesome, thank you. And last but certainly not least, Lauren. Well, that's Salty Ginger.
Hello, I'm Lauren. I'm that Salty Ginger over on Twitter, she, her pronouns, and I am playing Tart, the changeling bard who has no idea what's going on. I think there's a dragon. That's probably fine. We're looking for a door. It's all very, very good.
You slept through the dragon bit, just napped. What happened?
Look, never underestimate the power of a good nap.
Yeah.
Truth.
Yeah. Okay, so actually we've reached 12 retweets already, so I'm going to quickly give you all a number. So Emet 1, Vesh 2, River 3, and Tart 4. Let's roll this perfectly in roll 20. Let's go. 3. So that is River. Please, can you roll me a 1d100, please? But last week we learned a fair few things when Cole Kenneth tried to sneak in and steal the shield, but somehow Emet nat 20 to stealth. Emet and Cole's just really, really bad at it. And rather than a fight breaking out, they restrained and questioned Cole Kenneth, and it was revealed to us that Blue was not who we thought he was. His true name was Warden, and he had originally been effectively the child warforged that we'd seen in the room in the Kenneth household wrote. Not too long after that, as Cole Kenneth was taken away again, he looked very, very terrified as the giant came to collect him. The ground started to shake and began to rumble, and Ilborg, the dragon, burst through the earth. And that is where we will pick up straight away. So this dragon, Ilborg, erupts through the ground, crashing through the ceiling, bursting through the top and disappearing up into the sky, as Vesh keenly saw Frederick still caught in his claw. The ceiling itself starts to collapse and fall. All these boulders start crashing down, these sort of crashing down into the houses as giants start to flee, and rocks begin to fall. And you can hear Boover. Yeah, you might want to wake up now, Tart, as Tart has slept through the entire thing. And you hear Boover yelling. And he seems to be trying to get towards you. He is yelling to all of you. And somewhere in the distance, it can only be described as a mechanical roar.
Like that? That's what it sounded like?
Yeah, exactly like that. What would she like to do?
What is going on? Why did nobody wake me up before now?
Because of that tone you're using right now.
Smart, very
'Cause
smart of you. I
You're
feel
a little bit scary.
Thank you. What is going on?
I think they're awake. Well,
Who?
no, I know they're awake. They're awake.
What?
Yeah.
That
Yep.
big dragon we visited, and the machine, the big machine. What was it, Emmet?
Lord of Blades.
That was it.
Not to be ominous or anything.
Why? What did you do?
Nothing.
We ate
sleep-
burritos.
I gave him Frederick so he'd sleep nice.
Okay.
I didn't even kill Kenneth. We sent him away. I was really good.
Oh, Kenneth was here? Was he the traveler? No, he just owed the traveler. I'm very sleepy.
The traveler kind of screwed Cold Kenneth. He looks terrible.
Oh no.
He does.
That's why we don't accept presents from strange men. That's our #1 rule.
Even if they're pretty.
That's especially if they're pretty. Okay. Where's Bova? We should go. We should leave.
You feel all these. You feel the ground shaking as all these huge boulders start crashing around you, and you can see across the way as the door is open. You see a huge boulder fall from the ceiling and crash, taking out this hut across the way as people yell to get out. And Bova arrives at your door. He's like, "We need to get you to the gate, and we need to get you there now. Follow me."
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I grab Vesh, seeing all these rocks fall from the sky. I grab a Vesh and I'm just, keep your balance. And I hit him on the back and cast Enhance Ability, giving him Cat's Grace.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Bova himself starts to sprint, run. He every now and then slows down to make sure you're still behind him, but you're running through this city that is old and it's falling to bits. You see giants start running everywhere. You look down off sort of the raised pathway you're on, down into this deep cavern below where Ilborg once was. And I need you all to make me a dex save, please, as you try and head towards the first
And
level.
Cat's Grace gives me advantage, right?
Advantage.
Yes.
Look at that, 13.
16.
Yeah, you, Vesh, you wobble slightly, but you're fine. You're absolutely fine as this, a rock comes crashing just in front of you and takes out half of the bridge in front of you.
Oh,
I've missed that look, Lauren. It's just Alex.
Like-
To you all, he's like, now I can throw you or you can jump.
How far is it?
It's far. This was a big boulder, so about 10 feet.
Oh. No, in that case, I can I hate to use a slot, but I can get me and Emmet across by thunderstepping us.
I would have to. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, do you want to burn that's me burning a 3rd level as well.
Or
Or do you
it's
want
me
to try
burning a
to-
4th to get 2 across.
I mean, he could throw us.
I was gonna
Yes,
say, yeah.
throw us. And Alice has rerolls.
I do have rerolls. I do not
Which
intend you
would
to
definitely-
I was gonna say, if we throw Ash first, Ash can catch.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Emmet,
As this
That comes forward. It's like, okay.
Bova looks at you and you've seen more rock starting to break away as this same very similar sized boulder is starting to move on the ceiling, the same one that has crashed through this. and he looks at Emmet, and he's like, ready? And he literally grabs you by the shoulders. And I'm gonna roll athletics.
I was gonna say he's got like, because he's like a storm giant or a cloud giant, so he's got like a +8, 26 strength, something like that, if I recall.
It's a +8. 17. God, he rolled bad.
Hey.
But on a 17, Emmet, you feel this force behind you as you literally it's almost like a push rather than a throw, as you are launched to the other side.
It probably looks odd because he's the Warforged. He doesn't do like the normal like person like moving their joints around. It's just almost like a stock still, like when you throw like an action figure.
Yeah. Yeah, you almost crash the other side. And Boover looks to the rest of you, like, who's next? I'm sure Emmet will catch you the other side.
I will go.
And Boover, you see, just takes a slightly, he sort of offers his hand to you rather than grabbing you as he sort of...
Going to step into Bova's hand very delicately.
He's like, good luck.
Hey!
On an 18, you effectively sail through the air. And you can land however you want with that, so...
Cool, I land on one foot like a ballerina.
So Matt has his arms out, you just land like right in front of him, and he's like, okay.
I say, good catch.
Next, quick.
Lying.
Me.
You sort of, again, very similar to Tart, offers his hand to you, and River, he throws you for a 12.
Oh.
You sail through the air, but as you do, Emmet, if you want to try help, I need you to roll an athletics, please. As you see River, yeah, okay. You see River sort of sailing through the air, but there is a boulder dropping at the same time. Emmet, describe to me how you do this.
So he sees the boulder dropping, and he immediately just looks around, finds the closest bit of like bouldery rubble he can find, and just hurls it at the dropping boulder.
Yeah, you hurl it at this boulder, and it's just, they collide, and you see it crack slightly. It doesn't split in half, but it looks like as it falls, it does, and moves out of Ripper's path. And Boover turns to Ver. She's like, young giant?
Let's go.
And he throws you for a 10. He's so bad at it.
I'll use a reroll.
Say if not, I can.
Yeah, I will.
Do you know, I'm gonna use a reroll.
A wee bit better.
Oh, there we go.
Hey!
There.
On a 25, Vesh, you've really sailed through the air quite fast, actually, as Boover is starting to panic. And in fact, you don't so much sail through the air as he grabs hold of you and jumps himself and crashes the other side. Yes, Tart.
Where are Tyron and Navi?
And Blue.
Yeah, and Blue. I've got my priorities straight.
Okay, he launches Vesh because the DM has a fuzzy head and completely forgot about the other pieces.
I just thought you were trying to trick me.
I genuinely wasn't. I've been sick, Lauren. And
I wasn't trying to call you out. I was just worried.
it's fine. And he grabs hold of both Tyrant and Navi, one in each hand, and throws Navi. Throws Tyrant. Navi lands perfectly. Very much not as elegantly as Tart, but he does land. Tyrant, however, it doesn't quite go across where he's thrown to. He starts to drop before he gets to the edge, and he scrambles onto the edge of this wood, this bridge.
He starts to drop, and Emmet like grabs onto a plank and kind of falls down to grab him. Also,
yeah, you hear very, very much. I was like, thank you, as you sort of like swing down and pull him back up. And then you see Boover hand his hand out to Blue. I just forgot words. Brain. And he goes to throw Blue. On a 27, he launches Blue. And Blue's it's quite a thing because he's not elegant at all, and he crashes into the side of you. If you try and catch him, it will almost like not knock you over. It won't do any damage, but this is a force. Like Blue is ragdolled. He doesn't know what to do. So if I
yeah. Emet catches Blue and almost like stumbles off the bridge in the process of like trying to gain all that inertia.
I thought he was yeah, we can do. And Boover, looking up and sort of weighing out the distance himself, makes a run. Oh, I'm gonna use a reroll.
Yeah, seems important.
He gets there, he jumps, but at the last minute he slips. He's still holding onto the side, but his fingers clamp into these wooden like planks.
While he's in the air, before he lands, I will do a lightning lure and basically throw out this lash of lightning. It can go out 15 feet to wrap around him and yank him to give him a little bit extra bit. Not your day yet, big giant.
And he lands in sort of shock, literally. Just like, thank you, thank you. This way, quick. And he starts running again. And very much he leads you back up to his hut and down that same tunnel towards where the dragon was. And time passes by very quickly as you sprint down this. You can hear that rumble and you hear that roar again. And you run deeper into the earth, and you can feel it get cooler. You see all that stone around you. You go past where the dragon slept. You can see now all the way up to the ceiling. And there's another tunnel at the back where he goes deeper and deeper. And as you run, you can hear him getting tired. He is a fairly old giant. He's not young. And he is sprinting. And you see a rope bridge ahead of you. It's not a massive drop. You can see water below you, probably from where the waterfall sort of funnels in, and he starts to run across. And it is very bouncy, so could you all please make me a dex save? Oh, you met. I need to make some for Blue. Blue is fine. Tyron. Oh dear. Navi. As you go along one of the rocks, as they start to fall, they really jostle. This is just a rope bridge. And you manage to keep yourself stable. You manage to hold on to the rope bridge. What order are you all running in?
I assume Tart's probably the fastest. Tart and River are probably the fastest of us.
Yeah, since Emet was catching, I was picturing Emet at the back.
Yeah, Tart would probably be dragging Tyron along. She's going to stick close to him.
If you're dragging him, I will do a reroll for him so that he's got advantage.
Yes!
So, on a nat 20, Tyron again, you're effectively holding his hand and he's just keeping up. He's running with you.
Since I actually did okay, can I use my lightning lure again to grab Navi before he goes over?
Yeah, you see him almost trip and he sort of falls backwards, but you manage to, well, describe it for me. As you see Navi's feet almost start to disappear over the edge.
I reach out again with my lightning lure, this static electricity all going through me, and grab him and pull him in and get him back on the bridge. But, I'm used to having lots and lots of static. Navi, I figured, probably looks like...
Yeah, you pull him back up and he's like...
like his mustachio is probably a little bit charred from getting lightning struck.
It's sort of staticked out,
Yeah.
But he doesn't seem to worry or notice as he's breathing. Breathing very heavily, like, okay, keep going. And you all sprint over this bridge. And you get to the other side. As you run through this very short, almost opening, you can't really call it a tunnel. It opens up into this huge cavern. Stalactites and stalagmites are surrounding, and you see a door. A huge door. Vesh, you've seen this door
Before.
You recognize it. You see the 2 slots where the shields fit.
I'm hoping Bova has the other one, as he didn't have a chance to bring it to us.
Bova's got it in his hand. So, right. We have one chance at this. And again, behind you, you hear that metallic roar as if it's getting closer and closer.
Okay, just one more time. What is the plan? We're opening the door a smidge and going in, and then Bulva's closing it behind us?
Bova looks at you and says, Fialin.
What?
That is your name.
Yeah,
correct?
sure. We'll go with that.
The orb.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So as soon as that gate opens, you activate it. It takes any magic. It doesn't matter what it is, but activate it. The magic, it will give you a 6-minute window to get in there and close the door behind you.
How?
Are there slots and keys on the other side so we turn the shields again from the inside?
There are 2 exact same slots as they are on this side, and Bova holds out the shield to Emet.
Emet takes the shield. Okay.
Both lock it in at the same time.
And then once that's in, then activate the orb.
As soon as it clocks and the shield starts to turn, you activate that orb because they are going to try and get through.
Okay.
It'll hold them back.
I haven't been here before. Is there anything I need to know?
Yes. Brace yourself.
Stay close, River. Don't get lost.
Oh, I'm gonna stay close to Vesh.
It's really scary.
Oh, then I'm
a
definitely
great
gonna
place.
stay close to Vesh.
Fighters.
I'm not
Okay.
afraid of spiders.
I know, that's why. I'll
We're
protect
not
you from
afraid of
spiders.
spiders.
Not the other way around. Emma, you ready?
There is a
do
slight
this.
rumble. You can look down the tunnel where where you came from over the rope bridge, and the other side you can feel rocks starting to shake and fall as this huge warforged arm reaches through and holds onto the wall at the side and starts to crush the rock to get through.
Well,
All together on 3?
Bova's
You
like,
can't.
now
Magic shields.
Emet shoves the shield in.
I need you both to make a sleight of hand check so that you do this at the same time as Bova takes out this huge axe and walks towards the end.
I will inspire Emet. You already have advantage, Jay,
Okay.
because it's a dexterity check.
Oh, it's a check, right? It's a check.
Yeah, so you have
Yeah.
advantage. Emet, I believe in you. I know I don't say it enough, especially when we're not fighting anything, but you should know that I really believe in you, and you're like a not like a father figure, but like a cool
Uncle.
figure to me, and I really care about you a lot.
You hear
That's
Blue
really
just go,
great.
Grandpa, Warforged.
Look at that.
Ah,
So hold on to that D8.
your words were so inspiring. I didn't need to use the
I
inspiration.
know you can use it later. I believe it affected it though. In my heart.
On a 12,
Definitely
it doesn't quite do it. You see the first shield go in, twist and click, and you see more but sort of things like slot out of Emet's shield and lock almost like a cog. But Vesh, you're stumbling. You can't even though it's a perfect circle. For some reason, it's not fitting properly.
It's a high pressure situation.
It's a high pressure situation.
You hear a crush of rock as the other side of this wall just suddenly rips away, And Boover looks over to you, he's like, quickly, now, and he starts to make his way across the rope bridge.
Breathe, Vesh. It's fine. Breathe.
I want to hand another one of those out.
Yeah, would you like, Vesh, you are definitely not like a father figure. You're more like a baby brother, but taller. But I also believe in you, even though this is not your forte. You can probably still do it.
16, and I'm going to roll the D8 just in case.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh, 20. Good. We both got
On a
20.
20, the exact same as Ned. You both push and you both feel a ka-jung as both of the shields sort of lock out, all these bits and bobs coming out of them, extra parts of metal like a cog, and they both start to spin, and these huge, heavy stone doors start to open.
Activate the orb.
You're up, Tart.
Yes, but can you all make me a brain? What is the word? Perception check. I know that word. Perception check.
16 for Vesh.
16 for Tart.
Emet is done. All of you, apart from Emet, as this door creaks open, as you see Tart activate this orb, you see thousands of eyes the other side in this darkness as you open the doorway to the Dreaming Dark. As this orb is activated, you hear screams of Dalkior erupt from the orb itself, and Tart, as you're holding it, you see those images swirl around again, and those eyes start backing away into the darkness. Some of them freeze, some of them you can see figures clasping their hands over their ears and falling to the ground and disappearing almost into the walls and the shadow. Emet, you don't see this because you're looking at Bova, who, with his axe, has stopped the first fist from this Lord of Blades on the rope bridge. You can see it's not going to end well. You've been in war before. And he looks back at you. Run. Close the door. And he is screaming. He is screaming at you to close the door. And you see another huge... This Warforged isn't fully through the hole it's made yet. And as it does, you see another fist come through that huge bladed arm you saw as it completely severs Bova. And he
starts
bridge.
Ushering people into the door, be like, no time to wait, go, go!
Grab the shields!
Yep.
Emet will salute what's left of Bova, grab his shield, and go in the door.
Tart keeps hold of Tyron's hand, and with her other hand, holds it out for Vesh.
Vesh takes it and runs in. He sort of looks back and just sees the sacrifice that was made for us, and we're going to make this right.
You all see Bova fall. You see the Warforged realize that the gap in between, knowing its weight won't take on this bridge, and this horrible roar erupts from its mouth as the doors slowly close. I need Vesh and Emet to lock this door again. I need you to make another roll.
Sleight of hand again.
Yes, please.
I'm going to use a reroll.
Yep.
Advantage, so
I do have-
17.
Advantage. You
17.
Yeah, because I'm still maintaining concentration on
Yep.
enhanced ability.
You've done this before, Vesh. Now this is the second time you've done it, and you feel that clink and that turn as the door locks behind you. And you're all in the Dreaming Dark. Once more. You turn around. The gate is there, the gate is locked. Are you taking the shields out of the door?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to leave them so they can open them once we get away. We're going to have to guard these now with our... I mean, if we fall in the shields, then they can get out.
And you're stood at first in what seems complete darkness, but it's like your eyes adjust This is a different type of dark. This doesn't seem like a natural dark. And your eyes adjust and you see ahead of you Cyre. And everything is grey. Everything is dark. You see, same again, those people wandering aimlessly. You're on almost like a platform of stone with steps that step downwards into an almost courtyard-like area. But the mist is thick around you, all the way up to, for Tart, it's up to your knees. And it's dense. And you can see it gets higher and higher the further you can see Cyre. Almost as if it's engulfed. In fact, could you make a perception check for me, please, Tart? That'll do. In the background, very far, not too far away, but you see almost like a version of Shan off in the distance. You're not sure if it's real, you're not sure if it's like the Cyre that's here, and you see the Warforged lining the battlements, very much like how you left it. And you're back in the Dreaming Dark.
Okay. So, rule number 1. Nobody goes more than 30 feet away from anybody else. Sound good?
Sounds good.
I mean, it probably won't make like a huge difference, but you know, we can say we tried. Okay. So the plan is, we only have 6 minutes, but 6 minutes in the real world, I assume.
It was a 6-minute window. Excuse me, a 6-minute window to open and close the door.
Ah, okay. We
You're
did that
now
right away. Great.
Time does not matter here.
Right.
Kind of.
So the plan is to get into Cyre, where we were, right?
At the well. We jumped down a well.
Where did you cast the fog cloud? It was on by the
Right
well.
at the well.
So we go there, and I try to dispel it.
I think that's the best plan we've got.
And we don't use any other magic.
That's okay. I've got these.
And I've got... He holds up this short sword that basically looks like a dagger in his hand.
Got a bow. Does that help?
Yes.
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 Everyone like, yes.
Emphatic yes.
Yeah.
And you can start to walk down these steps, down into this courtyard. And you see Dalcure everywhere. But they're all standing very still, very static, as if they can't see you, that you're not there to them. They don't, their eyes don't move, they all look straight forwards. They stand rigid like soldiers. And Blue stops. I can hear singing.
Singing?
Singing.
You know what song?
No. Like, humming. It's what I heard below the earth when we tried to save Tart. I followed it.
Okay.
Is Blue the only one that can hear it?
Blue is the only one who can hear it at the moment, unless others would like to make a perception check.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. You all hear it. It's like a low hum, as if someone was singing a lullaby. But in Met, you feel it. You feel it in your head, more as if whispers are in your head.
I don't think that's good humming or good singing.
Is it off key?
Sure.
Yeah, that's bad then.
Yeah, don't try to listen, I don't think.
Is it all about horses?
What?
It's a lullaby I sing to the baby. Sorry.
Aw.
And you see Cyre. You see in the distance Shan, because you know where it is now. Chart. And you notice it's not Warforged that line the battlements. It's Dalcure. Stood in the Warforged position, unmoving. As if they're waiting for something. You hear a voice behind you. Their energy is elsewhere. It's good to see you again. And Vesh, your mum, is stood behind the group. She looks well. Very well. She looks... Considering how grey everything is, you'd almost say she looks colourful. She looks much brighter than her surroundings.
How does she look at me?
How do you mean? She looks...
Do I see in her eyes what gave away the other? Do I see that this is really my mom?
This is your mum. This is for sure your mum. You can see it, you can hear it in her voice. There's no harshness, there's no nothing.
Judgment.
You recognize it from the first time you were here.
I run forward and hug her and go, knew. They tried to trick me. I knew it wasn't you.
I know. And she sort of just gives you a hug back. Sort of presses a kiss to the top of your head, kind of, because you're just about taller than her. And she looks to the rest of you. I thought I sensed you on the way through. And she looks up at all the Dalcure. They're not really here, but they are here. They're half here. The Warforged can't enter the Dreaming Dark. That's why you can see only Dalcure. But be careful. And she looks over to Emmet and Blue. You can still hear them. If you hear them singing, if you hear the whispers, block it out. That's them trying to get in. Back to Cyre then.
Tart,
yeah?
As she's talking, Tart kind of pokes at Emmet to see if he's really here. You feel pretty solid.
At that, like, he's kind of shocked, looks down, like, starts, like, tapping himself. It's like, yes, I seem to be all here. And then does it to Blue, too. Starts tapping down Blue.
Yeah, Blue just sort of stands, almost like to attention, just allows it to happen.
Then looks back at Tart and shrugs. We're here.
Are they not supposed to be here?
No, she just said that Warforged aren't really in the Dreaming Dark, so I was just double checking.
You walked in.
Right.
These... She looks around and is like, fell asleep, I guess. But don't harm any of them. Don't touch any of these Dalcure. If you slay one here, you slay the Warforged on the other side.
Good to know.
I mean, desperate times calls for desperate measures, but if it can be avoided.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't want to stay here longer than we have to, so we should start moving.
And she starts to walk you through, almost weaving, sort of like meandering through all of these Dalcure. None of them move. Every now and then you see the eyes twitch as they look at you, but they can't seem to do anything about it. It's like they're frozen statues, living statues. And then you start to see, as you get closer and closer to Cyre, you see those people again. Just wandering souls. And you do all see Talon wandering. He looks very confused. And he seems to be following what the others are doing. Rather than walking his own path, he's sort of trying to figure out what's going on. As you approach the gates of Cyre. And this is, as much as it is very grey here and everything is very dull, the sky itself swirls. The stone is almost grainy, like a sandstone, built up high into the sky. You can see some of it has crumbled. And you start to wander through Cyre. In fact, Vesh, you recognize these streets from the many dreams you've had before. You recognize those narrow alleys, those big open streets. There's a fountain at the center. And Emet, you recognize this as well. You've been here before. But when you saw it, it was far more chaotic, far more busy, whereas here, there's maybe 1 or 2 people wandering. Pay no attention to you. And you walk further and further deeper into Cyre.
As we go, Tart is going to reach out for Emet's hand as they walk in. Doesn't seem to be for any reason in particular, just she wants to hold his hand.
Emet at first almost doesn't recognize the gesture. So his hand stays open. Then after a couple seconds, and then closes around.
You walk further and further into the city rising up higher and higher all around you. And slowly you can't see your feet at all anymore as this mist gets higher and higher. And it's almost up to around your waist level now, Tart. So a bit lower on the rest of you, maybe about the same for River. You see Tyron walking through, sort of gives a shiver every now and then as he looks around. Navi looks terrified. He's wandering through this place quite skittishly. You can hear him at the back going, "Did you see that? Did you?" What? Almost like he keeps speaking of shadows following or hiding in corners. But every time you look, there's not necessarily anything there. There are shadows, but you know that they've always been here.
Navi and Tyron, would you please just stand in the middle of the group?
Tyron looks quite he's like, yep, yeah, no, yeah, of course.
Yeah, your old hat this, Tyron. You've got this, buddy.
I've got this. And you hear Navi at the back I have not. I don't know what is this?
This is the Dreaming Dark. We're going to try and fix stuff. Don't touch anything. just be quiet and don't get into trouble.
Don't touch anything, be quiet, don't get into trouble. I sound like my mother. Like, as he sort of like wanders around and he hurriedly gets into the center of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. As he hurriedly gets into the center of the group. And you get further and further in. And Vesh, your mum sort of hasn't let go of you. Now, this place is also memories. Do not panic if you see anything. It doesn't mean it's real. It could be, but you don't know how this distorts anything.
Right. All this time, Vesh has been going around just sort of looking at the mist and knowing that it was the spell that he cast, and the Dalkior and the people who are trapped here who aren't Dalkior. I think he's probably counting. He's probably counting them or trying to keep count of them, as sometimes younger kids will, thinking they can count all the birds, and he does finally give up, but
Bert sees Vesh's face and she like pats him and says, "Don't worry, we'll fix it. We'll make it right."
well, better at least.
And you keep to walk through, and you slowly get to the center. You recognize this from last time. You remember running here. In fact, you swear you see your own footsteps in the dirt below, as if they've frozen there in time. And I need you all to make a perception check for me, please. Okay, so Vesh and Imet, you don't see this right away, but River and Tart, you're all sort of looking around to find that exact spot as to where you were. That almost inside part of the temple that you ran into, and you could see the steps leading up to it, and almost like an image, but like a see-through image, you're seeing a memory, not a physical thing. You see Vesh let loose this mist, this fog. And almost like he starts to disappear as he runs. In fact, you see all of you run towards this temple, and you see this swirling, almost like a vortex on the ground of this mist. And suddenly from the fog, people start to run. People start to... You can actually hear sound now. It's almost distant, almost like an echo. You're not hearing it fully, but you hear people screaming and running. And then you start to see them. All these people, all these normal, everyday people just running. And they are fleeing from this mist. They are grabbing each other exactly where this mist had dropped. This mist sort of has risen up, and you can see it reaching up towards the sky. And it's like these ghosts recreating what happened as they run through this mist. And now, Vesh and Imet, you will now see this as all of this happens. As you see all these people fleeing Cyre, as they all start to run past you. They don't bump into you. If anything, Imet, you see a small child run straight through you and out the other side. There. Vesh's mum sort of whispers to Tart more than anything. That's where it happened. And she looks confused. And as you look, she's watching herself run
Mhm.
through this mist, her old self. She's running amongst this fog, and Vesh, you can hear her screaming your name. She can't find you. She's trying to find you. She's being pushed over by others. She's trying to get back up to her feet and push through these crowds. You see these Dalkior, again, a very ghostly image, not physical ones, run through. They cut people down as they sort of start to spread, the same way the mist spreads, like they're coming out of the mist itself. And Emet, you see Warforged. You recognize some of them charging in from different alleys into different spaces. And then you hear another voice, all of you. You hear the name Melina being yelled through this mist. And as your mum stands next to you, she's like, you can see her almost take a breath and gasp. And you see your mother searching through this mist, and she's shouting this name, just Richter, Richter, screaming it into this mist. Her eyes are welling up, and then you see this man run towards you. Sorry, towards the mother, with a very small Vesh in his arms and embrace her very, very tightly. You don't hear the words exchanged, but they hold each other's faces. They hold on to each other tightly. They start to... Your father, the one you saw in the trials, pushes the younger you into your mother's arms, and he's screaming at them to run. As more and more of these Dalkior seem to come out from the center of the mist. He's gasping. He is tired. He's been running. You can see this younger version of you is screaming and crying, and they start running. And Emet, you can see your captain. He's in there. He's ushering people to get out. He's throwing them. You can hear those orders, almost more of a memory. You hear it echo in your head rather than watching it. This is chaos. You see these almost ghostly figure-like bodies falling to the floor, and they lay around your feet. All these dark figures start to appear, these Dalkior, slaying everyone in their wake. The captain stands before one of them. He puts up a good fight, but you see him slain. You learned that your captain died on the battlefield, but you never saw it. And Vesh, your mother falls. You see her holding on to the smaller version of you, almost like cocooning you within herself, so that if anything came close, that you were protected. And it's almost like you hear that slice, that metal of a rapier come out of a scabbard. And a Dalkior steps forward, and she starts scrabbling to her feet, and she runs. He swings and misses. 3 times she moves out of the way and rolls out of the way. And you hear some words sort of thrown at each other, nasty words. But your mother is fighting back, and she's running. And then this young man, Richter, your father, who looks so much like you, not in armor, not in anything. If anything, he looks like he's in night clothes. Comes forth, and this Dalkior is struck by a shield that he swings, crashing into the side of it. And you watch this vision of your mother and this younger version of yourself flee, Cyre, as Richter yells and screams for them to run. Richter fights. He takes many blows, but so does this Dalcure. Before he is run through. And you see this image. Richter is run through by this rapier from this Dalcure. And he drops to his knees. You're muted.
I mean, Vesh is sitting here knowing he has healing magic, and he just... Everything gets twisted, but I want to help.
Try not to, Vesh.
I know it's already happened. But...
Tart is taking while this has been happening, has taken several sashes from her bag and has tied them together and one around her waist. And after she's got a pretty decent length going, she hands it to Emet. And she is going to start walking into the mist so she can try and dispel it at the center.
As you walk further into this mist, again, all these people rushing past you. Even now and then, you out of reaction, you move as if they're coming, but they don't. They pass straight through you. And you yourself see Richter fall. And his eyes for a moment blink. And he looks at you as if he can see you. And then he looks to you, Vesh. And he smiles briefly. A sad smile. But there's a sort of a gurgling in his throat. But you do hear just Vesh as he sort of splutters and falls forward.
Vesh.
Disappearing into the mist.
Vesh falls down on his knees just to try to see if he can just grab his hand or something for a second and just go, I'm going to make it right. I'm going to make it right, Dad. I'm sorry.
You do feel a hand. And it grips yours. I'm not on my own. And it's almost like it starts to fade, like you can reach out and grip as tight as you want, but it starts to disappear. And this Dalcure withdraws and looks to you, Tart. Hello again, Tart. Do you recognize me without your mother's face on?
Oh, fuck you, buddy.
Please roll initiative.
Oh, yay!
All of us or just Tart?
Or if you all want to get in on this, it depends.
Hey.
Oh, he just killed my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's fight him. Let's fight him. Oh, what up?
I'm using another reroll.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, you guys.
What is happening here?
Hold on. Hey, that's more like it.
Tart.
Yeah.
Let's do...
And then River.
Okay, can River and Vesh roll again just so I know which one of you goes first?
Oh, right.
Of you two, please.
I'm betting River.
I rolled a second time. I rolled 15.
Oh, right, yeah. She's higher than me anyway. So, yeah.
I see. Okay. That's fine.
Nice backing up that roll.
Mm-hmm.
You were 17, sorry, Matt. You were, weren't you? Oh, and then Vesh. Okay, let's roll for the down cure. 19. Okay. He turns and he looks to you, Tart. And he smiles and pulls out this rapier, and you can see just where this blood is glistening on the end, almost as if it's in your world now. This is very, very real, and he's going to reach out and hit you.
He's gonna go before me.
He is. He rolled a 19.
I rolled a 22.
Oh, did you roll a 22?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. In fact, I've got that down here even. So yes, you go first. Sorry.
Don't worry, you scared me anyway. Okay, like I know this is really important. And I know that I have a higher attack bonus with my crossbow. But I feel like, you know, it's like the penultimate episode. I've got 2 rerolls. I should use my gun, right? Yeah.
You totally should use your gun.
Okay, cool. I got 2 rerolls, you know.
The dice are going to tell the story on this. You're going to roll a nat 20 on that gun.
Shebang.
That's a 7. I'm gonna reroll. Damn it. Come on. 13?
That doesn't hit. You fire these bullets off, and they pass straight through him as he walks closer towards you, rapier out, and he rolls to hit you. He does not. How do you dodge this as he swings at you? Sort of menacingly. You see him gritting his teeth, and you almost feel that same sense you felt when he was talking as your mother before.
I am going to just, as I forget what kind of gun this is. I'm going to just like, while I'm like trying to reload it, I'm just going to duck like a dancer. I'm going to do like a swooping whoosh. Like I knew what you were going to do. You did not scare me.
Emet, it is your turn. As you see this Dalkior sort of swing at Tart, completely miss as she weaves out of the way.
Emet does not like that.
No, he doesn't.
Ooh, yes, roll for me. Damn. Sorry.
So Emet just takes, like, Tart was walking out away from them. And he looked back and saw Vesh dealing with his dad. And as he turns, he sees this Valkyrie, like, trying to hit Tart. And so he just, like, leaps into the air and smashes down onto it with his hammer.
Yeah, this Dalkior is crushed slightly as it sort of gets thrown backwards. It falls to its feet, but it quickly springs back up and sort of rubs its shoulder and its chest, and is just... It gives you a look, even like that was not very nice. And River, it is your turn.
How close am I?
You're all pretty close at this point.
Okay.
The only difference was he moved up closer to Tart.
Okay.
Not anymore.
All right. I want to first cast Hunter's Mark,
Nice.
and then I'm going to use my short sword since we're close.
Yeah, go for it. That does not hit, I'm afraid.
Boo.
Again, you swing, but he just sort of ducks just slightly out of the way. Sort of almost just takes a quick step aside.
Oh, I could use a reroll. I do have 4 left.
Do have a reroll.
Try that.
Yes. Roll for me, please.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I get oh, I can't think. My brain is not working. For I roll a d6 for Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, you've got...
So that's 12.
Perfect. Yeah, you do that, and as you sort of swing the first time, he moves sort of to the side, but you catch him as he comes back round, sort of slicing this blade just across like his sort of hip, and he sort of hisses. And this doesn't sound like a normal human sort of hiss. This definitely sounds almost like a snake. And Vesh, it is your turn.
So he's going to draw out the short sword that that River gave him, and he's going to go running forward to get right up next to this Dalkior. Not again. No, you don't. Not again. Oh, 23. He hits.
23, definite. Yeah.
I assume. 7 piercing.
7. Awesome. Yeah, describe that for me.
He just goes running up, trying to sort of get himself between, Tart, who's trying to be ranged, mainly so that if for some reason he tries to move, he can sort of try to trip him up or get in his way, and make sure that he sort of stays locked down and doesn't get away from mainly Emmett, because Emmett's probably going to just smash this dude.
And it is back up to Tart's turn, and you see Vesh run in front of you effectively.
Oh, goody. Oh, goody. Well, I'm glad that everything is going really well for everyone else. I'm going to try to move away.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I do it then.
Lets you. He lets
I
you.
do it. I'm gonna try to take another shot.
You really want to use the...
I just want to use this gun once. Come on. I'm gonna reroll. I'm gonna use my last reroll because this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Hit. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh
Laura,
my
I'm going to give you one of my rerolls because this is hurting me.
Good. You Alex.
If you get another 6, though, I swear.
666. We win.
Yeah, we win. We win. Fuck me.
Again, you fire off and it just sort of whizzes past him, and he looks at you and smiles.
Oh, don't smile at me. Your smiling is not appreciated here. You have a very ugly smile. And that's what you should know.
He gives you a wink at that before swinging at Vesh. Does the 10 hit you?
10 does not hit me.
Yeah, he swings, and how do you dodge this?
Vesh probably tries to be very graceful, but kind of probably just sort of falls over a little bit and then gets back up quickly. I think, all but slips on whatever, something beneath the fog, trips up a little bit as he makes his attack, and he misjudges it and sort of swings over top of his head. Whoa, oh, good. And pops back up.
Yeah, you hear him curse as you do this, and you sort of swing round, and it is your turn. As you see him again, he swung at Vesh, and Vesh fairly easily gets out of the way.
Ooh. Unfortunately, get in Emmett's way.
I'll reroll.
You're gonna reroll? Okay.
Yeah.
A 14 just hits.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, so what are you doing? As you see, it's almost like he stumbles with his back to you slightly as he swings for Vesh. What do you do?
So I go to swing at the side of his head. If I don't quite hit there, as I more smash into his shoulder.
Yeah, sort of crush. You can hear almost like a crunch as it goes down on his shoulder, and he yells. He sort of screeches out, and you see he doesn't drop his rapier, but you just see him start to really almost try and get his shoulder moving, almost like it hurt, but he's still moving it. And thank you, let's donate a reroll to Tart because it hurts. It is now River's turn.
So I am going to do pretty much the same thing. Yeah. So I don't need to roll the hunter's mark again, do I?
No.
No, you just roll the damage.
Oh my goodness.
Would you like to re-roll or?
Yeah. Let's try that.
So it's not just me.
Yeah, it's not.
He's a
just
slippery
you.
little dude, isn't he?
Have you got any more re-rolls you want to use, or is this the dice telling you?
I have one more. That was 3, right?
You don't have to use it. I'm just asking if you're going to.
No, I'm gonna save it, I think.
Okay. As you swing, he sees you coming as he sort of is already trying to sort of work his shoulder out after Emmett has crashed into it. And with one hand, as he swings you, he grabs you and just throws you behind him and throws you to the side. And you go crashing onto the floor. And you roll and just sort of hit one of the rocks at the back. Can you just take 1d4 damage for me, please, as you just feel sort of as you're swept aside. It is Vesh's turn. You see him fling River.
So, I want to do things. I want to do things and stuff and things. I got a question. Does his rapier look corporeal or like it's made of shadow?
It looks like it's made of shadow.
So, can I try a thing? I would hate to ruin everything. So, here's what I want. Here's what Vesh wants to do. You can tell me what I need to roll. This is what Vesh is thinking, because Vesh can conjure a shadow blade as well, but knows he shouldn't cast in here. Since I have the ability to cast that, can I try to disarm him and take his shadow blade away with him without casting a spell?
Yes, I would say you could, but I'm going to need you to roll an athletics because you're effectively just going to...
Yep, so I'm going to try to...
do that to River, so you can take this opportunity.
To try to grab it.
You will need to roll a 14 or higher.
Okay. Come on, Vesh, my boy. Ugh. Nope. He tries for it.
Yeah. You reach for it, and as you reach for it, you accidentally sort of like you grab his wrist as he does this, and he looks at you and just turns to look at you, and you're almost like in a stalemate as you meet eyes with the person who killed your father, and he pulls you that little bit closer to look at you. And this is also the same person who's been asking you to open the door.
Of course it is. It's always been him. It's always been you, hasn't it?
And he just pulls you that little bit closer, so you're about that far away from each other, and he smiles. Always been me. Tart, it's your go.
Okay, listen.
Come on, it was donated for the gun. You got to use it on the
know.
go.
I want you to like, I need this to work because
I really, really need it to work. I'm not at the level where it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna work this time. It's gonna work this time. I'm gonna try to shoot him.
It'll work.
Mother of pearl. Okay, I'm gonna use that reroll.
Okay.
I'm not gonna click the sheet. I'm gonna manually
type it in.
I'm gonna manually type it in because this seems like a joke at this point. Okay, here we go. Yes!
Yes.
Yes! Yes!
Roll damage and tell me how you take this shot. What does this look like? As you see him pull Vesh up so close. And Vesh, he is that little bit taller than you.
That's terrifying in and of itself. So, okay. So while all this dancing has been going on, the whole time Tart's just been trying to aim.
Like, which one?
Like the entire time. Like, I'm not paying attention to the drama. I'm literally just tracking him. Until finally, like he leans back to like smile and say something, and I pop one off at his shadowy throat. Oh, and I get sneak attack.
Yes, you do. I just see like Tart first person shooter game. Like that's what I see.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's a nice amount of damage.
Yes.
Woof.
Woo!
Yeah, you fire this billet off, and Vesh, as you're stood there looking at him, it's like through his neck, from here through to his shoulder out the other side, a bullet erupts. And you do feel a splatter of blood on your face as he gasps. He's not dead, but he falls to his knees as he lets go of your hand and starts gasping and looks over at you, Tart. And you're not sure, it's a mixture of anger, confusion, and you do see fear there.
Yeah, how you like me now?
Emmet's turn.
Come on, Emmet.
Because you've...
Oh, no!
Oh my god, roll 20!
Oh. I don't remember how many.
Yeah, I think you've still got 3.
You've still
Yeah.
got, you've got loads of rerolls.
Yeah.
Roll 20 is just...
Oh, shoot.
What?
Okay, refresh. Roll 20, people. Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah, hang on. Did you use 2 rerolls or was it...
No, that was an accident.
twice?
Ignore
It
that.
was an 8.
Yeah.
Do you realize we've rolled 5 nat 1s
And
against
they've
this
all
guy?
been 8s. They've all been 8s.
Been 8s.
Wow.
They've all been 8s. That is crazy.
Yeah, you swing for this. Well, are you swinging at the Dalcure? I'm assuming so, not anything else.
Yeah.
How would you fail this?
Let's see.
Because even I'm confused because he's prone, basically.
So he brought in
Yeah,
and Vesh really close. And Emmet is raging and is like, no. No. And then right as he goes to swing like down onto him, like kick him in the back of the knees, bring him down, Art's shot shoots through and he falls. And he just is shifted all just that slight bit to where it just goes right down beside him.
Yeah, there's almost like that you see in the dirt, especially you, Vesh, you see that sort of erupt of dust as it comes up from the ground as this huge warhammer effectively carves through this mist.
Emmet kind of looks at Tart and shrugs. Sorry, I didn't think you'd actually make the shot.
I mean, fair.
River, it is your turn. And you are still sort of, you've fallen over by this rock. You're sort of behind everyone right now.
Okay.
Did he not go?
He was, he just got shot through the neck. He sort
gotcha.
of spent his thing to just like,
So River is gonna get really mad and she's gonna shift.
Ooh.
And then she is going to yeah, she's well, she's gonna
Dicked.
run and attack this person.
Yeah, go for it.
But I'm still gonna use my short sword. Let's see. So hopefully I can hit this person and it'll look really cool.
Oh my god. What is going on? What is going on?
I'm not happy. I'm going to write a letter to roll 20.
I'm gonna try one more time. I have one more reroll.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay, hang on. Because it's all 8s. What is happening?
Yeah, well, my attack, I have a +7,
yeah.
so I'm
yeah.
basically a 1.
Yeah, same
Oh.
thing with.
The level that we're
Same.
at.
I know,
Yeah.
but like,
There's so many. I'm just scrolling back up.
they just
That was
you.
It's
Yeah.
insane.
5, 6, 7.
Oh my god, like 7 now. Oh my.
No,
okay.
I love it. I think this is great. Let's keep. Yeah. Let's go.
On this, like, you push yourself up, and as you raise your short sword, as you sort of flick out these like almost claws, you feel that searing pain just down your side where you struck this rock, and as you raise your arm, you feel it, and you just sort of fall back down almost onto your knees as it really sends like a shooting pain through your back. Vesh, it's your turn as this Dalkior holds its neck. It is not looking well. It is gurgling, but it stands.
Oh, I really want to stab him with his own sword, but it's my action to get it though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that I wouldn't have an attack.
Time.
Get it.
Huh?
No, get it. I'm sure that I'll make my next shot. So get it.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's gonna be a
Let's
whole
get
other
another
round.
8.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, I am. I want to get the sword because I want to stab him with his own sword. So I, with him being on his knees and holding his neck, can I have advantage on this?
Of course you can.
Didn't need it.
Yes.
19.
How do you take it from him as he sort of drops his knees and he's holding his neck and around the other side of his throat, where Tart has shot him literally through the neck and it's gone out here the other side.
It might have always been you, but see, now you're not dealing with us one-on-one. You're dealing with us. I ripped the sword out of his hand, out of his thing, and can I at least hold it like to his neck?
Yeah, for sure. You can hold it to his neck as he sort of falls forward as he tries to grab it off you as you go to do it, but he freezes and looks up at you as you hold it by his throat. Tart.
Hey, everybody.
Shall we?
Heart here.
I go look at the screen. So I'm wondering how. I bet you're wondering how I got into this situation.
Yeah. Okay, seeing Vesh yoink his sword and seeing him on the, on his knees. Well, I guess, I think I should roll before I say anything super cool. Before I say anything super cool, let me just roll. Let me just, great. Here we go. I'm gonna use my reroll from Mirror Shadow. Last one.
So now it's gonna be 2s all around.
Yep. Yes, that hits him.
It does hit him. It does hit him. You feel free to describe what you want, Lauren.
Oh wait, put in the damage. It's okay, everybody. It's okay.
It's like we don't trust clicking anymore.
No. Oh, good. That's a terrible damage roll. I don't care because it's
You
fine.
hit.
I hit
Better
it.
than 0.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you do this? Tart, how did you shoot him?
As he is clutching his throat and getting distracted by my friend Vesh. I'm like, hello, oh, did you forget about me? And then shoot him in the hand where he is holding his throat.
Yeah, as you do this, Vesh, as you're holding this rapier to his throat, this shadow, almost like blade that seems to move and shift, you hear Tart behind you, and as he's holding it, this other bullet goes through, and his eyes just sort of bulge really wide. He's like, and starts to really splutter, and he falls with one hand down on the ground. You can hear his ragged breathing in his chest. Emet, it's your turn.
Fesh very much tries to act like he wasn't really worried he was about to get shot in the back of the head by
Yeah.
Tart.
Why would you be worried about that?
Yeah, you're lucky these nat ones haven't caused like frustration bullets.
There we go.
It
I was
hits.
scared.
What do you do? He is not looking good.
So he's down on the ground, right?
Yeah, he's down on the ground.
So I'm kind of picturing him like where he's fallen to his knees. I think Emmett steps forward and actually steps on the back of one of his calves. And then just takes the hammer and just smashes it into the side of his head.
Yeah, you see him fall. He's not dead, but my God, is he close? Looking at him, like you sort of crash into the side of him. This guy has been shot. This guy has been stunned, and he is this just huge weight of this warhammer. You see him ragdoll onto the floor, and he lies there again trying to push himself up. He can't. He's still holding his neck. He is using one hand to try and push himself up. You see blood running down the side of his temple. His nose completely out of shape as you hear him gasping, trying to push himself up.
Emmett will look at Vesh and be like, would you like to do it? Or do you want one of us to?
I can do it for all of us, or maybe all of us together.
I will tell you this will be the last hit because he's on. Unless you roll a 1.
Unless we all roll once.
Unless you-
We all want to hold our
Sounds like
actions and act at us all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, or roll
Yeah.
for me.
I'm gonna walk closer back to the
Do
group.
my reroll.
Okay, hang on.
Shadow Mirror, I'm using all of it. Dash, right on top of him. Well, I was gonna say, do we have advantage on these?
You don't you? Hang on. No, you don't.
He's not prone.
No.
No, he's like on his knees, but he's not
On his knees, but didn't say he was prone. So yeah, Vesh apparently can't bring himself to do it. Everyone else, get in there.
Excuse me,
Emmett will
pardon
look
me.
at Vesh and be like, that's fine. As apparently
That's fine. Tart's like, whatevs.
Give up.
I was gonna say we sort of skipped River though. River, get in there
No.
with your.
Yeah, River, you
River
kill
got
him.
him.
River got
River
him.
got him.
River got him.
Oh,
River, how do you kill this Delcure who is a mess on the floor and your friends swing and fire madly at him? Nothing, even though he's laying on the ground effectively.
Well, I'm still on the ground too, so I'm just kind of like on the ground, and I reach for my bow and and I'll say I'll hit him, right between the eyes or something.
Yeah,
I
you
kinda-
see... Yeah, go on.
I kind of imagine like Emmett noticing that Vesh can't do it. Like, that's okay. And then looks to Tart right as this arrow is like coming through. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotta
as
protect Vesh.
this Dalcure looks like he's about to push himself back up, and you hear as this arrow straight between the eyes, and he drops to the floor. And everyone, that was the worst roll 20 rolling I think I have ever.
I have never seen
Ever.
something so ugly.
Roll 20 did
ever.
not want to give us dramatic closure.
It was
No.
just like, not for you.
It's kind of the story of our campaign, though. We're kind of awkward, and eventually get the job done.
Not optimized.
Just
Not
checking, like,
optimized.
is he dead?
Oh,
But he rolls over, he gurgles, and that arrow just right out.
Does anyone else feel super dissatisfied with that? Maybe we should kick him a
I
little.
really tried for you
Oh,
so much as well.
I'm talking in character, Alice, not out of character.
No, I know, but this is me venting my frustration. My God.
It's actually kind of fitting. Think
Why?
about, because it was pretty pitiful for this shadow of a person. Thought he had everything taken care of, and to be beaten by us.
I appreciate you trying to put the positive spin on it.
It doesn't always have to be like super slick assassins. It can sometimes be,
Yeah.
whacking someone with a stick till they die.
Fiolin, you've got a Fiolin with you.
Look, I don't have proficiency in weapons, Alice. Look, okay? Not a valor bard. It was a mistake.
I think it's beautiful, but he falls and it's almost like the mist starts to consume him, starts to take him. All of those ghosts, those images, those ghostly forms stop where they're running and start to walk away. And this mist grows thicker and thicker and thicker.
I guess we need to make it to the well. We still have work to do.
Okay, let's try that again.
You now know where you are. You can remember this, and if still the mother leads the way, now running. You notice as she walks past the body, she does kick it on the way past. And she squeezes your shoulder, Vesh. And you make it towards this temple, towards the well. You run up those steps. You run into that sort of almost just a huge room made of stone, this temple with the pillars, this ornate thing. And where last time you saw that statue stood of the cloaked figure holding the box, it's not there. Instead, a man stands there, hooded.
Holding a box.
Holding a box. You see the well beneath the box by his feet. You don't see a face. You only see a smile. I have a gift for you.
Okay, everyone, be super cool. We don't even need to talk to this person. Stranger danger. Mm-mm.
We saw what he did to Cole.
Mm-mm.
He takes a step forwards.
Oh, he moves.
He moves. Oh Lord, he's coming.
How large
Okay,
is
Tart, that's not working the way that I think you thought it would.
how large is he?
He's not. He's abnormally tall, but he doesn't look out of proportion or out of shape. But you notice he starts off the same height as you, Tart, and as he walks, he grows.
I can do that too.
Emet will look to Tart and be like, "You dispel this, right? That's what you could do."
Uh-huh.
Okay. Just don't accept, right? And Emet is like,
Right, I'm just going to walk around him. You guys distract him.
Emet
Tart, he
will walk
follows
towards
you.
him.
What do you mean he follows me? I'm gonna.
He follows you with the box open,
No.
And you
Yvette's
hear
gonna try and insert
What's in
herself.
the box?
You see him approach with the box. He doesn't come in towards you. He doesn't like touch you or anything like that. He just follows you and stops in front of you and once again holds the box out.
No, thank you. I'm gonna like try to like sidestep, like doing like a dance and
Yeah,
like
he
head toward the well.
He steps with you,
Okay.
and in your
Cool.
voice, in your head, you hear a voice. You hear Ophelia's voice. She's just talking. The very last words you said to her, that she said to you, you can hear that conversation. And then a very smooth voice comes through. I can bring her back. Just for a small price. It's a gift.
And none of us can hear this, right? This is in Tarn's head.
Yeah, no, all you see is this sidestepping.
All of your gifts.
Again.
All of your gifts have stood the test, and I want nothing to do with them.
But for her, she could be alive again. Don't you want that?
She doesn't say anything.
Yeah, so even if she took your place.
What?
It's true. There are strings. I'm offering you an exchange.
What kind of exchange, as I'm still moving toward the well?
You for Ophelia.
Now, you see, the thing is, like, the problem is, as I'm still moving.
He just walks with you. Like, he's
Yeah,
not
cool.
following you. He just walks with you.
Yeah. You see, the problem is that, Ophelia can't stop this, and I can.
How do you know?
Because I'm a very knowledgeable person.
You didn't know everything about her.
Why would you be offering a trade if she could stop it?
And there's a smile. And that hood sort of, as the sort of looks up, you look and see Ophelia's face under this hood. I could have stopped it. I could stop it. He's the traveler. He doesn't care what these humans, these mortals, these dwarves, these elves, these changelings do with their time. This is a game.
Well, I'm waiting for Alice to come back so I can say my really dramatic thing and then do a real. There you are.
I can hear you. I just freeze.
Okay. So. Well, I think I am pretty much done playing your games.
She was too. And he closes the box and takes a step away from you.
All right.
Walks towards Vesh.
Oh, goody.
And he opens
this-
the box.
Okay, while he does that, I'm hightailing it to the well.
Yeah.
Tell me when I get there.
What makes you think you have anything to offer that's not just another gingerbread house?
I can offer you everything. Everything. Everything you ever wanted. I could set your mother free. I could bring your father back. I could give you so much power.
You really haven't been listening or watching very well, have you? You see, offering power and bringing back these people I love, or things like that. The best thing that I've had in the last 15 years was sitting around drinking sarsaparillas and eating burritos with my friends and remembering the people we lost and knowing that we love them while they were here, and it makes these good times having sarsaparillas and burritos all the better for it. So everything you're offering is less than what I've already got. So you can just take your box and go scurry down in the fog, or we're going to beat you by 1,000 little bumps on your buttocks.
And this sort of hooded figure sort of tilts its head, turns, closes the box, walks past River, walks past Emmett, and walks to Blue.
Oh no.
And opens the box. Inside is a small toy red dragon.
Oh.
And Blue looks at it. He doesn't touch it. He doesn't take it. My red dragon. And the traveler again tilts its head. Warden, how would you like Hunter back? To have not been a murderer, to have not killed him, to have not lost your arm, to have not been left, moved around, dumped in a tavern to serve drinks. How would you like to remember who you are? And Blue stands there, completely focused on this dragon. You see him sort of go to reach for it, but his fingers sort of almost like just he flicks them back, almost in a very human-like way, as if trying to resist. And he looks over to Emmett, just like checking, and then you hear him just, I wouldn't have killed Hunter.
Emmett just shakes his head.
Can you roll a persuasion for me, please?
I think you still have my inspiration that you didn't use earlier.
You do?
I do.
As a great dad. As a great dad. Oh, perfect.
That might
Perfect.
be necessary. Yep. Let's
Do you want to reroll first?
Yeah, do you want to
I was trying to remember. I'm like, I think I have at
You have
least
2.
Okay.
Oh, good.
2 on the
Okay.
screen. 2 on the screen.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. And then it's a
A D8.
D8.
13.
Ooh, that's a scary number, but I guess we'll see.
You say to Blue.
As Umet notices, Umet can't hear what's being said. All he knows is that Blue is doing something. And when he sees Blue's hand reach up, and he notices Blue look at him, Umet just shakes his head, like, no, Blue. It's a children's rhyme, remember? You don't take gifts from the traveler. Even children know this. And we've already talked about it. Whatever he has to offer is not for you. We'll get things our way.
But it's my red dragon.
The one in that box is not your red dragon anymore.
And it's like, almost like he, not short circuits, the he, and he keeps going. It could bring back Hunter. I would not be a murderer.
Do you remember that night we stayed up and talked, Blue?
I do. And now the traveler's face is fixed on you as you're talking to Blue.
Yeah. We can't change our past and what we did, Blue. Even if you could bring Hunter back, it doesn't change what happened. And what happened was not your fault. What happened defined you. You don't need him or his gifts, Blue. You've got all of us.
And Blue turns away from you and reaches out. Closes the lid. No, thank you. And walks away from the traveler and walks over to Emet and takes his hand and stands patiently waiting. As Tart, you reach the well. Emet, is there anything you want to say before Tart reaches the well?
Emet looks down at Blue and says, don't worry, Blue. We can get a different red dragon. A new red dragon. And plus, you saw a real red dragon.
I can't keep that one.
No. But ownership isn't everything.
He just nods. Tart, you arrive at the well. It's this almost it's much larger than when you last saw it. And again, you see almost this image of Vesh casting it again and again. And as it happens, it's like more and more comes out. It's denser, it's thicker, it's pouring out. Almost like water.
As she prepares the spell, she's going to let half of her features morph into Ophelia's. So half of her hair turns long and wavy and blonde. One of her eyes turns pale green, as one of her ears turns pointed so she can have her sister with her. And she places both of her hands on the side of the well and channels all the magic that she has into it as she casts Dispel Magic on the fog cloud.
As you cast this, all of you feel cold, but like there's a breeze, like there's a strong wind building. In fact, you hear it before you feel it. And Tart, it's almost like you have to hold on to this. You focus, your clothes are sort of flapping around you, your hair, and the rest of you feel this too. Like, your beard is like off. You even see a couple of flowers break away and sort of flow on this air as the mist is getting sucked almost back into to where Tart is. And I need you all to make a dex save for me, please. Okay, so let's roll for Blue. Who's holding on to him? Tyron. Navi.
Oh, man.
The both of them get blown over and they start getting sucked towards this well. Same with you, River. Though with your claws, you manage to start grabbing onto the side and being dragged in. The rest of you manage to remain standing. As much as it's difficult, like you can really feel it, you sort of stagger to try and hold on to this.
So Tyron and Navi.
They've
and
fallen and they're tumbling towards you, if anything.
Okay.
Towards this well as this air is drawing them towards it. You seem pretty stable. You're controlling this.
Yeah. I am going to, I guess.
Don't cast.
No, I'm not going to cast anything. I'm going to stick out my leg. What else am I going to do? I'm going to stick out my leg. I'm a dancer. I'm very stretchy.
Does one of them pass by me?
Oh, yeah.
No.
They're like, oh, guys.
Oh, okay. This is weird, but I vote it works. I have Sentinel.
Oh,
They pass by me for an opportunity attack.
yeah.
Vesh basically, like, just flailing, grabs one of them, and if I hit, then it stops their movement.
Yeah. You can see Navi, like, proper scream. Navi is just screaming the entire way past.
Please get him so I can get Tyron.
Yeah, I've got
But
Navi.
if not,
So I mean, I figure I'm sort of. I figure I fall gracefully or clumsily, however you want to see it, and ended up just landing right on top of Navi.
Yeah, as you stagger.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. This is good.
You don't really see him in the mist. You sort of stagger and you tread on him. As you sort of like fall over and you hear like a like as it comes over and you trip and you fall. But you both land in this heap and you both stop from happening. Tyron, however, he's not yelling, he's not screaming. His teeth are gritted as he's trying to pull himself up.
So, as he is moving toward the well, oh, this is funny. Letting go of everything that's been going on with her appearance, Tart is going to revert to her natural form, just taller, because she can control her height. So, being a dancer, she's still holding on to the well, gripping, but she'll like stick her leg out and like try to do like, you know, when like a ballet dancer lifts up another and the leg like wraps around.
Yeah.
That's basically what she's trying to do as Tyron gets blown toward the well.
Okay, I will let you roll an athletics or an acrobatics.
I like that. I like that second one. I like that one.
It is roll 20 though.
Thanks, Alice.
I'm just saying.
Natural 20! Yes!
Finally, it had to turn around.
Yes!
You have full control over the well. This wind is whipping around you as much as Tyron is struggling. He slips and you stick your foot out at the last minute. And it's like he curls around it. And he looks up at you as you've got like this energy, this magic flowing through you as you're in your natural form, something he's not seen. And he looks up at you and he just smiles, and then almost with like one big the air is gone, everything is still. You can all fall to the floor, even if anything. Tyron immediately jumps up. Are you like worn out, Tart, or are you feeling pretty good about this? And are you still in your natural form?
Yeah, she's still in her natural form. Actually, I think seeing all the shadows, she looks almost like the opposite of one of the shadows right now. She's kind of grayish, whitish, and transparent, as opposed to their like dark colors and shadowy nature. She's just kind of like rested across the well. Her leg's still out.
Yeah. Yeah, he sort of like moves around it and then walks over to you and puts his hands almost on your shoulders like, do you want some help? Thank you.
Sure.
And he sort of like heaves you up, puts one of your arms over his shoulders, and he lifts you up.
Oh, you're stronger than I remember you being.
He laughs at it. He's like, "Wow!" Like, and he just sort of smiles and
A little
nods.
adrenaline, little love, you know.
Yeah.
Like, he just, wow. And like beneath you, Vesh, you hear Navi like, "Get off!" Like as he's just sort of trying to.
Okay. He kind of makes sure that he sort of puts his hand on Navi's head and sort of points his face towards Tart and Tyron, so he sees that Tyron got the girl.
Yeah, he's sort of like, you can see him just like, you hear more of a mumble grumble into the dirt just as he sort of pushes himself up and brushes himself off. He is a mess. He's been zapped. Nothing about him is neat at all anymore. He is all over the place. But he looks over at the well and he looks back at Vesh and holds out a hand and says, "Thank you."
No problem.
That was terrifying.
Dreaming dark, kind of, that's its sort of signature thing.
There is no mist. There is nothing there. It's all gone. And to the side, you hear almost like a gasp as your mother falls back, holding on to something. It's almost like she herself is becoming transparent, much like those images that ran through the mist. And she's holding out her hands and looking at her hands. She's like, I'm leaving. I don't know what's happening.
You're finally getting to move on.
Is that what this is? And she sort of like holds out her hands and she's reaching for Vesh, and her hands are going through you. She's just, no,
just
like,
calm down.
And you can hear her trying to steady her breathing.
And he just starts, I mean, I don't know what's going on, but you've been stuck here, right? You don't belong here.
And she's getting quieter and quieter, and you see her slowly start to fade. And she rests a hand on your shoulder, but you can't feel it. It's like she's sort of almost, she's holding it there so that she doesn't fall through you.
I love you, Mom. And go be with Dad. You can look over him now.
And
I'm gonna be okay.
she shakes her head almost defiantly.
I'm gonna be okay, Mom. You did good. I have family now.
And she puts two hands now, shoulder either side, and looks to Tart. It's like, follow to the other end of the temple. That's how you get out. And then she looks over all of you. And there she holds your face. She starts to speak, but you hear no words at all.
I just look her in the eye and show her the love that I have and that I'm happy.
And she smiles. And again, she's saying things, but you can't hear them as she slowly starts to disappear.
I know.
You see a hand rest on her shoulder as she looks up and finally disappears.
We should move.
We can't leave yet.
Why?
I need to go get Ogora.
Are you sure he's still here?
They said... Bova said that I could bring him to the door to get him out.
Okay. Can you sense him?
I don't
I
know.
mean-
I saw him before, but I was sort of drawn to him.
Well, use your insights and lead the way.
Yeah, I'll reach out with my psychic, see if I can speak with him or feel his confused presence, since he was lost and confused here before. See if he's...
You'd be able to reach out, and you almost hear the footsteps, but in your head. And you hear that voice, that same voice you've always heard. I'm waiting by the gate.
We'll meet you there. He's by the gate.
Okay. Tart's going to get down off of Tyrant. Excuse me. Yes.
He's like,
Yeah. No, I'm just faster this way.
Yeah.
I appreciate it though.
Oh, okay. He's the most
3 octaves higher.
Yeah, he just gets a lot higher every time.
Is Vesh leading the way?
Yeah, I mean, he means the gate like we were going to, right?
Yeah, the one where your mother.
Yeah.
Going to.
So it's back. I mean, it's back the way we came.
No, it's back further through.
Through the temple.
So it's not the same one that we used the shields.
No,
on.
that one was closed. Oh, that
I thought we were
door?
going back out the door we came in. I guess not. Well, I guess there's also a giant warforged
Well,
there. So yes, the other
yeah.
one.
Yeah, we should go a different way.
Yeah, the other one would be better, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, through the temple.
If Vesh is up ahead, I'm going to talk to Emet. Emet, so you know how time moves differently here?
Yes.
Do you think that maybe Vesh's mom will be... Do you think the stuff in Cyre might not happen, I mean?
I have thought about it, but I don't think we will know until we get out. Also, what happens when Ogula is on the same side as realities as Vesh?
I don't know. I don't really know how it works. And I always felt like it might be rude to ask too much. It seems like a very intimate thing, you know?
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure it's fine, though. I'm sure it's, like, super fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super fine.
Yeah, super fine.
So that means when we leave, we should go to Cyre and see.
Maybe if it's all, she disappeared. That's why I think, I don't know.
Well, maybe we shouldn't give him false hope. Since
That's
he
why I didn't
seems
want to say it to him.
satisfied with.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, high five.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's move.
And Blue is still holding on to your hand, Emet, as you sort of like all walk through this temple. And it's still pretty dull here. You can still see people walking around. Those Dalkior that remain unmoved still stand. And you head down these steps in the temple. And it takes you out across this sword bridge. This huge sword bridge, and below you see the massive drop, but you can't see the bottom. You walk over this sword bridge, and further ahead of you, you see almost like this brick, this stone built upwards, with a huge sort of expanse of doors. All of these gates that are attached to nothing. And you approach the sword bridge.
Vesh would have waited till everyone got here.
goody.
Well, we've gone across once.
On these gates or doors, is there any writing?
You roll a perception check for me, because you're quite far away at the moment.
Okay.
Not super far away, but...
21.
On a 21, you look at these doors, and each one very similar pattern to the two shields, or it looks like they fix on. However, on each door is an emblem. You can see Sharn. You can see Rote. You can see Glyphstone Keep, and you can see many others that you don't necessarily recognize. But there's many doors here. And with a perception like that, you can probably guess they are doorways that open up another doorway to whichever location on the door.
Do I see one that looks like it might be for Cyre?
You do see one for Cyre.
Okay, well, I think these will take us where we want to go. The question is, where do we want to go?
Blue, where do you want to go?
Why should I choose?
Because you're a smart little boy that notices a lot more than we do half the time.
And he nods. He just nods, sort of agreeing with you. He said, "This sometimes is true." And he looks back. And if you look back, you'll see all the still Dalcure, all their heads have now turned to watch you by the gates.
All of them.
All of them.
I mean, do these look like they've got shield keys and stuff on them as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
They've all got exactly the same.
Okay. Do we get back to Sharn? Oh, do we go to Sharn with the orb to pull the Dalkior out of the Warforged?
That is a good question. Because we don't know what effect this has had on the other side.
Well, we can assume the Warforged are still affected, because it wasn't necessarily the mist that did that.
Right.
True.
That was Kenneth's wish, kind of.
Okay. So we go to Sharn and try to use the orb to free the Warforged, and then see what the mist is doing. And
Well, because the mist was, last we checked, the mist was all but at Sharn.
right.
So I can get two birds with one stone there. Back to the beginning, back where we started. That's sort of been, we went back to the beginning of the mist in the Dreaming Dark. May we get back to Sharn where it all started in the real world.
Here, Blue, behind you. Here he comes.
Oh, who's coming now, Blue?
You see the traveler walking. He doesn't even pay any attention to you. He walks straight past you. He walks across the sword bridge. He walks through a door. Doesn't need to
Which
open.
door?
He walks to Sharn.
Guess I know where we're going.
See you, Blue. This is
In
why we
your-
should probably listen to you more.
We
In
all
your
had the
head
same idea.
start, you hear, "I think your mother would like a gift."
Oh.
Okay. Okay, we're going to Sharn. Yay, field trip, everybody. I'm like pulling Imet and Vesh, like stomping toward it.
Tyron is just like, what? Okay, and starts going. Navi walk behind, like, just still brushing everything off him.
Let's get across this bridge and get to ourselves at Sharn.
There is no breeze here anymore. You can walk across this sword bridge with ease. It doesn't feel quite like the last time you did this.
Not quite as thrilling or exhilarating.
No.
Yeah.
But as you look down either side, there's just this swirl of nothingness. You think something's moving down there, but it's too dark. It's too far down to tell. You approach the doors.
Shields, shields in the doors, I guess.
Roll for me, please.
It's this. This is a sleight of hand again, right?
Mm-hmm.
You still have advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. 13.
Hey, that's right.
6s again.
Matt, it doesn't seem to click.
Okay. Excuse me.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Excuse me coming through. Excuse me. Do it again.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Do
because
it
we both have to do it, right? We both have to do it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey.
Hey.
With a click and a churn, you see these shields start to move and start to rotate, and you see these hundreds of little locks all interlocked start clicking open, 1, 2, 3, as they go all the way up the side of this door. And the door opens.
I burst through. Close it behind us.
You'll run through.
Run through real quick.
Vash is looking for Ogora.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
would. I know. You would.
No. Do you want to stay, Emet?
Yeah.
Then
I'm-
stay.
Emet dashes through, looks back, and sees Vesh looking over his shoulder. And this looks at Blue and goes, okay, you protect Hart now, and goes back in with Vesh.
River, you go through. Help out Tart. They're going to need all the help they can against the Traveler.
But
We
if I
won't
leave
let-
you, I can't protect you.
I have Emmet.
Okay.
River,
Okay.
if you want to stay, you can stay. I'll be fine. I
It's your
can cast
mother.
magic over there. I'll be fine.
It's your mom.
Yeah, she's very scary.
Exactly.
And she knows how to get to you better than anybody.
She's not going to try to get to me if I move fast enough.
I think he means like in your head.
Oh. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. River, you can do what you want. I will be fine. Don't worry about me. I will take Blue.
Blue salutes and literally takes an arm of Tart and starts riding through.
Oh. Leave us the orb. In case
Wait,
you're right on our tail. Oh, wait. No, we'll take it through, but I don't want anything getting in from inside getting out. You go get the Traveler.
Right.
We'll stop we'll deal with the Dalkior with the orb. Yeah? No? I'm hoping we're not going to be
Okay.
far behind you. I don't
Okay,
know.
Don't be far behind me.
I think River, so that we've got the shields, River has the orb.
Okay.
Because River has magic as well.
Yeah, she can activate it. Okay. You guys find Ogora. Bye. I'm going to take Tyron and Navi and tell them to hide outside in Sharn. I'm not going to leave them in the dreaming dark.
Yeah, you can take all the children with you.
Yeah.
As you go.
I love babysitting.
Blue, you can see, just waves at you all as the doors start to close.
I'm holding the door, hoping that Ogora gets here.
The the doors
Okay.
close.
Okay, cool.
Did you
You met-
just split the party for the finale?
We don't want to. Ogora's got to be here somewhere. Come on, buddy.
Are you just waiting, or are you going to look?
He
for
said he'd
him?
be by the gate. Vesh wouldn't leave him if he said he was going to be by the gate. He's.
So Emet will.
It's there's very weird vibe with him being left on the barrel.
So Emet like pulls out his hammer and just starts standing sentinel by the door. All right, Vesh. Where is he?
I assume I still have the shadow, I still
Yeah.
have the shadow blade.
All the time here, yeah.
I kind of reach out with my mind. Are you coming?
You hear a distant voice. It sounds like I'm coming. Yes, you're running, and you can hear footsteps. It's a complication. And you hear that metallic roar again.
I was hoping you couldn't get through. Magical doors.
And you hear Ulgora reach out again. The creature that was born in the mists of Cyre, was born in the dreaming dark. It's returned to the dreaming dark, and you hear those thundering footsteps as he's running and running. And you see him. You see him running through the temple. You see him over this sword bridge, and you see this huge warforged, bigger than him, blades on its back. This screech is its arm, and this huge blade the other side. Tart, as you step through,
Yeah, everything's fine over here.
you step through this door.
Oh.
It closes behind you. You feel nauseous. You feel like you've been spun around, and you fall onto a wooden floor.
Mm-hmm.
And you look up. You hear laughter. You hear catting. And you look over at a very familiar bar in a tavern. Where you been? As your usual, the dwarf where you first picked up Blue. As he stands there and looks at you. And he gives you a bit of a smile. Your mother's gonna want to see you. We've got a bit of a problem.
How do you know my mother?
I'm a gatekeeper, is what we do.
What? Okay, where? What day is it? What time is it? What's going on?
And as you fall through, you hear a bang at the door, crash at the door. Huge, lots of fists just slamming against this door, and it's almost like you see the wood bend. And Tyron looks at you and grabs your arm as the dwarf is like, over here, and as Tyron drags you around the side of the bar, and he pulls up a trap door.
Uh-huh.
It'll take you to the lower section, the lower city. It'll take you up by the docks. There are warforged everywhere. They've started to move. And then the door bursts. You see all these warforged start to move in. They move almost in a human-like form. These shadow rapiers pulled.
Cool.
As the dwarf effectively just pushes you down into this cellar.
Okay.
Blue looks down at you and looks up at the warforged.
Come on, Blue.
And you can see he's struggling. He doesn't know, as these warforged start to pour in, and those people who are in here start to scream and start to bolt everywhere. What do we... You can hear the door go, get down there now! And Blue's like, do I protect Tart by fighting, as he says, as he sort of
No, you do not. You protect Tart by coming with Tart.
Emet would fight.
Emet would listen to me. Because I'm very smart.
I learnt something. Emet said, we have a choice. We don't have to follow orders.
Okay, no you don't, but what if I ask you really nicely to come with us?
And a warforged, a huge warforged, this one with this rapier sort of rounds on the bar and starts coming towards you. Can you roll me a persuasion, please, as I roll something?
I really freaking hope so! 16.
On a 4, this other warforged comes round the bar and swings this rapier towards you. But Blue grabs it and slams it down on the bar. It's like, okay, and sort of quickly scurries down and closes the trap door behind you. In the dreaming dark, however, Vesh and Emet, you see Ulgora charging towards you. You feel the ground, and you see this skid as this huge warforged sort of digs tracks in the stone. It blades out, and it runs towards you.
Oh, I want to do a thing.
What do you want to do?
I reach over to Emmet, who has taken out their hammer, and I grab both shields. So I have both of them. And I raise them up like two giant mirrors. And in giant, he begins his prayer. Changed a little this time. River, Tart, Emmet, Blue, strength of old, both old and true, protect my guardian, hear my cry, darkness flees where good hearts thrive. And does protection from evil, trying to use the two shields as a focus. And I know it's not really supposed to be cast at a higher level, but I will burn a 4th level spell slot in order to throw a little oomph behind this to try to protect Ulgora as he runs toward us from this, hoping these shields, whatever magic they hold, to hold these things back.
As this happens, there's almost a static, and Emet, you see this, there's almost a static between these shields. Nothing is cast, but you see that static, and Vesh's voice seems to deepen, and then you realize the giant is saying it at exactly the same time as Vesh. As it runs towards you all, you see it sort of almost slide into this sort of platform across the sword bridge. There is an archway at the entrance of the sword bridge. As this happens, it's almost like a barrier comes up. And this warforged bursts through it and comes to a halt as these shields seem to create some sort of wave of something. And Emet, are you in front of Vesh or behind?
Originally he would have been in front of Vesh, but I don't know if Vesh would have stepped forward to do its prayer.
Did you step forward to do the prayer, Vesh?
How narrow is this bridge? Can we be side by side?
You can be side by side.
I would probably be side by side.
You stand side by side. Ulgora makes it across the bridge. And this warforge almost comes to a skidding halt this far from your faces. This huge head with this angular features. And you're almost deafened as it drops its jaw and that roar rumbles again. And that is where we will leave Eberron this week. Yay. That was fun. You split the party. I can't believe you split the party before finals week?
It's fine.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
Have a
And
plan.
you will be very happy to know, Lauren, you can go up a level.
Nice.
Don't you get proficiency now?
Yeah, if I take a level in fighter.
Get that gunslinger level.
Oh, and I'm gonna take archery as my fighting style and get a +2 on top of it. I'm gonna shoot the traveler next week on the Mists of Cyre.
And shebang may actually work properly next week, because
Oh.
that is the most nat ones I have seen
I've
in
ever
any
seen.
just ever. But anyway, everyone come back next week when we find out what the consequences are and also what happens now that we've split the party. Half of them in the Dreaming Dark and half of them in Shan, where the Warforged are just going a little bit crazy. Everyone okay? All good?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Woo.
kept playing.
I can't believe you would. Lucky you persuaded Blue though.
I was panicking. I was like, they're gonna be so mad at me, even though Lauren just wants to like go. But I wouldn't. I'm a very good person, and so is Tart. You don't have proof otherwise.
No, it's fine. I completely believe in you. It's fine. Trust you. And Tyron trusts you with everything. So
I'm a very trustworthy person, super magical, super good at shooting things.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah.
So, everyone, please check out all the links that are going in the chat right now. This stream is brought to you by our wonderful sponsors, Bird in the Storm, and also Mage Hand Press. So please go and check out their links over there. Other than that, we've only got one episode left, everyone. So keep evoking emotions, and we'll see you next week. Bye.